To be taken as per the guidelines to improve the enrollment and real enrollment of girls for secondary education. I have a lot of details on that again. The guidelines stated that to ensure accountability and improvement in services, it was important to document all activities conducted at the district, block and Gram Panchayat levels. Upon closer inspection, the CAG report found that there are no records of implementation for various activities held for information. The lack of policy implementation, diversion of funds, and the failure of monitoring mechanisms are some of the reasons for the failure of the scheme. There have been reports that state governments have issued orders to independent agencies to check the validity of the data collected by district officials. The true state of affairs cannot be gauged when poor implementations of policies continue with data manipulation by government officials who are under pressure to show growth. Effectiveness and appropriateness is major concern regarding all central and state government. Most of the schemes are targeted towards rural and poor in urban areas. Urban, middle and richer classes stand to gain little from these schemes, and therefore they fail to address the objective. As regards other suggestions, I've given a lot of suggestions. The role of the family, the community, religious leaders, the state and the civil society in perpetuating beliefs which lead to violence against girls must be considered when formulating a plan of action. We can try to enable these girls to realize their full development potential with all kinds of opportunity in early childhood. Partnership at community level between parents, communities, governments, women's groups, frontline workers at different sectors, and NGOs can make our vision a reality. Yeah, I think I can stop. Of course, a stronger political will and things like that. And things are going to, I'll just conclude with the statement, that things are going to worsen. According to all the data and statistics and analysis that I'm able to find and do, is that things are going to get worse in the years to come. Thank you all. Sorry.
No, thank you. Okay, Amravati Chahan is... Sorry? There is no time for PPT. तो यहाँ लगाना पड़ेगा. ये PPT लगा के चलिए मैं लगाऊंगा. नहीं. वो इधर जल्दी You've got 6 minutes, just to. Okay. PPT क्यों करते हैं? क्योंकि कीबोर्ड नहीं है ना, इसी से करना पड़ेगा. सर. ठीक है बस लगा दिया ना okay can start.
Good afternoon to all respected members. My name is Dr. Amravati Chahan from Ghaziabad, Uttar Pradesh, and today I am going to present my research article on the topic of socio-legal study on female feticide. I have chosen this topic because as I am a female and belong to such place where such practices are very common, and according to me it is the most inhuman crime because killing someone who has not opened her eye in this world yet, just killed because the fetus belongs to a particular gender. Moving further, I also choose this topic because gender ratio in our country is shifting heavily in favor of male. In the PPT, saffron color belongs to India and blue colors belong to Uttar Pradesh. In 1991, child sex ratio was 945 in India and 927 in Uttar Pradesh. In 2001, child sex ratio was 927 in India, 960 in Uttar Pradesh. In 2011, child sex ratio was 919 in India and 902 in Uttar Pradesh. We can see clearly the difference in child sex ratio was -18 in India, -13 in Uttar Pradesh year 1991 to 2001, and -8 in India and -14 in Uttar Pradesh in year 2001 to 2011. So here we can see the decline of child sex ratio clearly. Female feticide means the destruction of fetus in the uterus. The term feticide is the combination of the Latin words fetus and pseudo, which means to kill the unborn child. So female feticide refers to aborting the female in mother's womb. It is practiced by the wealthy, the middle classes and the poor in both in urban and rural area. Sonography technologies were just for the diagnosed internal disease that are not visible from the human eyes, but nowadays there is a misuse of this beautiful gift of science by doing sex determination. In ancient time, Hindu tradition have generally respected womanhood, but we find derogatory reference to women. Sita was commanded to prove her purity in Ramayana, and Draupadi was compelled to enter into polyandry in Mahabharata. In medieval times, status of women were not satisfactory. Child marriages, sati pratha, polyandry, polygamy, etc. bad evil were prevail in society. In modern society, Constitution of India and other laws are there for the protection of females, but that deny her most essential and fundamental rights. It means right to life with dignity given by Constitution. India passed its first abortion-related law, Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act, 1971, making abortion illegal. In 1994, Government of India passed its Prenatal Diagnostic Technology Act, which came into force in 1996 to deter and punish sex screening, which is growing a successful business in India. Some reasons of female feticide: preference for male child, cultural preference, religious preference, financial preference, gender discriminations, female securities, technological growth and advancement, status of women. And I am giving some suggestion to prevent female feticide in the PPT. Give independence to women, give education to women, public awareness, social security, respect toward female, mindset of society, and many more. And in last, I would like to request all the respected members presented in the house that please save the girl child by doing change the mindset of people. Indians have changed their dressing style, living standard, but they don't know that life is very precious, which can't compare with anything, and they don't have right to anyone's life.
Thank you. You need to take care of it.
So thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, do we have Kalavati here? Is Benazir here? Ah, yes, yes. Is Benazir here? Is Prashant Kumar Pradhan? Yes, please.
इधर हूँ और यहाँ पे एक सेकंड.
Thank you, sir. The title of my paper is Opening Roads into Deep Forests and High Hills, Studying Struggle of Women Sarvodois in Tribal Odisha, 1948. Why 1948? The Sarvodaya organization was formed at Wardha Ashram just after the death of assassination of Mahatma Gandhi. And why 1977? Because by 1977, almost all Sarvodayas in Odisha fought against the excesses of emergency. And after that, the Sarvodaya movement was divided. Opening road means that the Sarvodaya female workers, they are the first people from the mainstream to enter tribal areas in deep forests, and also they went up to the hills and lived there for more than 30 to 40 years and dedicated their lives for the upliftment of the poor tribals and also the Dalits. In the beginning, I have discussed briefly what is Sarvodaya, and you know pretty well. Sarvodaya is not a new concept. It was in a better way defined by Mahatma Gandhi, in which the concept was more elaborately defined by Vinoba Bhave, Kishorlal Machwala, Dr. Kalelkar, Kishorlal Vyas, and other Gandhian scholars in a very lucid and a very understandable manner. Why I am talking the women Sarvodayas? They are few in number. In Odisha, around 70 to 75. They belong to different castes. In the initial period, most of them belong to coastal Odisha, which was generally an area of higher economic growth. And these women mostly belong to high caste, Brahmins, the Karan Kayas, the local Kshatriyas they call Khandayas. And many of them are widows in their childhood. But these women were collected by two great female Gandhians. One was Rama Devi Chaudhary, another was Malati Chaudhary. Rama Devi Chaudhary was a worker, that means she was dedicated to the constructive workers of Mahatma Gandhi, whereas Malati Chaudhary was a socialist. In the initial period, she was a ranked Marxist. And ultimately, after independence, she found that it was better to join Gandhian constructive workers. She avoided power politics. She even forced her husband, Navostan Chaudhary, who was the first chief minister in Odisha after 1951 election, to leave politics forever. And the couple, they dedicated their life for the upliftment of tribal people. Here, what the women workers did there? Almost all of them were in their teens, around 19, or some of them crossed their teens, 20-25 years. But the most important thing is that 4 or 5 fellows women I have visited them, they are in their 90s. And when I asked them why you adopted this type of dedicated life of 50 years or 60 years, they told that it was a challenge. In 1942, when Kasturba died, some people collected crores of money to memorize Kasturba. And Gandhi, to the utter surprise of the male workers, gave the entire money to the female workers and told that the women workers could do justice. Though the close associates of Gandhi, the male, they objected vehemently that this money will be totally wasted and you should not give the money to the women who had no expertise or experience in working in common fields. But Gandhi kept freedom, faith in the women. And these women in their 90s now, 3 women I have visited, they told that that word that kept us motivating throughout our life, that we have to prove one point, we are not in faith. What they did? They had to declassify themselves. they went to the tribals. The tribals were very much skeptic about the outsiders. They had no access to the outside world, but they opened ways from outside into the forest. From mainstream, they were the first group of people who reached the tribals, particularly in the Koraput district. It was at that time not divided, one of the largest districts of India. And these people, they became popular as Oppas. In Odisha, Oppa means sister. And all the fellows, from the old to young, they were known as Bhai. And all the women, from a small child to the elderly women, they would call themselves common, well-knitted, family type, sentimental attachment they created among themselves. They visited each other frequently, and most important thing is that they adopted the life of tribals. They sang their songs, danced with them, they adopted their food, they tried their level best to create faith in them that outsiders, the Dikus, the Dikus could do something, and in this way they tried to eradicate the gap, the great gap between the mainstream and the tribal throughout their life. One disease, that was years. There was one type of disease, skin disease, that was curable, but it was killing thousands of tribals. The tribals were not aware that this disease was curable. They thought it was cause of a god or cause of a nature god. That's why they never bothered to take medicine, or medicine was not available to them. Few missionaries opened some centers in here and there. That was not sufficient. But these women, they surveyed the situation, called for the doctors, opened centers of treatment, and surprisingly, within 2 years, the disease was totally eradicated from 4 districts. That was great achievement. At last, I must say, these women, they never wanted glory. When social service came, they were at the forefront. What credit comes, they are at the last. Thank you.
Okay, do we have Priyanka Arora here? Divya Rai? Rajesh Kumar Pradwal?
Respected Chair, all the delegates. My title of the paper, Legal Status of Women in Independent India. Women have always been an integral part of Indian society. In our anti-colonial struggle led by the National Congress, the upliftment of women remained a key program. Gandhi worked unceasingly for the improvement of the socio-economic status of women and their participation in the mainstream of the national movement. The participation of the Indian women in the nationalist struggle led to the grant of right to vote of Indian women by the Act of 1935. Indian women contested the election of 1937 and 1946. Thus, Indian women played an important role in Indian freedom movement. The excellent provisions of the Constitution of India, or the fact that we had 15 great women who were part of the Constituent Assembly which formed the Constitution, should, while making us proud on those counts, warn us of the other side of coin. There were only 15 of them, and as Mrs. Hansa Mehta remained us one floor does not make a summer. These 15 great women are included. Ammu Swaminathan, Annie Karen, Begum Ejaz Rasul, Dakhyani Veludon, Durga Bai Deshmukh, Hansa Mehta, Kamla Chaudhary, Leela Roy, Mamti Devi Chaudhrani, Purnima Banerjee, Rajkumari Amrit Kaur, Renuka Roy, Sarojini Naidu, Sucheta Kirplani and Vijay Lakshmi Kalli. The average woman in the country has suffered now for centuries for inequality happening upon her by laws, custom and practices of people who have fallen from the heights of that civilization of which we are also proud. These were the words of Mrs. Hansa Mehta participation in the discussion on the Objectivity Resolution on the 19th December 1946. A constitution of any country would disclose both the factual situation and the aspiration. The Constitution of India disclosed the aspiration and ideas the society would like to achieve. It also disclosed the realities which give rise to such aspirations. Thus, special provisions for women were incorporated in Constitution with the heavy in women condition in the first sex had to face because of the systematic root of our tradition and cultures. In principle of the gender equality inherited in the Indian Constitution in its preamble, fundamental rights, fundamental duties and directive principle. The Constitution of India not only grants equality of women but also empower the state to adopt measures of positive discrimination in favor of women for naturalize the cumulative socio-economic education and the political disadvantage faced by them. Fundamental rights, among other, ensure equality before the law and equal protection of law, prohibited discrimination against any citizen on ground of religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth, and guarantee equality of opportunity to all citizens in matter related to employment. Article 14, 15, 16, 39A, 39B, 39C, and 42 and etc. of the Constitution are of a specific importance in this regard.